Hello everyone, this is Muhammad Khamis Amin from Egypt and this is Beit Madad and this is the series about Islam and Jihad. Today I'm going to speak about different kind of people who are considered disbelievers in Islam. Um, from my understanding, there are three types of people or three different categories of people who are considered disbelievers. For some, anyone who is not Muslim is considered a disbeliever. And for me, this is not true. For me, it's like the truth is being said in different languages. So whether you say it in Christianity, in Judaism, in Buddhism, in whatever language, this is your own language and this is how you see the truth. So who am I to judge you and say I am right and you're wrong? So for me, this kind of disbelieverness is not true or is not applicable. The second kind of disbelievers are who are considered atheists, like the atheist kind of people, and especially the young generation. They're confused and stuff like. I think this is my opinion. They're just there has been a gap between reality that we're living in now and the technology and the lifestyle we're living in, and the somehow old way of interpretation of religion. So this gap is creating confusion for the young generation, so I cannot blame them for being atheists. So these kind of guys, to be honest, I kind of have sympathy for and a kind of responsibility that like if I have some certain kind of knowledge, I'm responsible for explaining for the young generation, and then after they understand, they have the choice whether to believe or not. It's their choice. But if they do not know the truth and they just chose to disbelieve, I think this is also excusable. Like they have their excuse, they just don't know, they don't understand. So how am I going to judge them if they just don't know? So it doesn't make sense to judge them without giving them all the information, all the truth, all the knowledge, and then giving them the choice to believe or not. So for me, this also does not consider disbelieving. What is considered disbelieving for me, or infidelity, the true meaning of infidelity in religion, in all religions for me. Well, in Islam, it's called kafir. The word for infidelity is kafir. So I think, from my understanding, that most Muslims use the word kafir for anyone who is either from a different religion, who is atheist without knowledge, or the true meaning of kafir the way I understand it. But for me, the word kafir only applies for the third kind of people. The word kafir comes from, or the English word cover. The word cover comes from the word kafir, because if we considered Arabic an older language from English, so cover would be the new word. So cover, which is to cover something, comes from the word kafir. And also in Arabic, there are like the countrysides, they're like Kafr al-Dawar, Kafr Abud, Kafr whatever, is like the place where the farmer covers the seed. So it's called kafr. So coming from the word, they cover the seed, the farmer covers the seed, okay? So the word kafir for me means someone who actually knows the truth. He knows that there is God, there is religion, there is judgment, there is order of the universe. He just knows, and he deliberately chooses to deny it for his own personal sake, for his own personal benefits. This is the true meaning of kafir. So I was in my 20s, I was doing some research and I came across the Bible of Satan, the Church of Satan and Satanism and stuff like that. And I discovered by accident that they actually have a Bible, the Bible of Satan. So I downloaded it from the internet and I started reading it. And I wanted to understand I wanted to understand their way of thinking, their rationale, their um, their idea. Like, how do they think? How do they explain stuff? What's their morals? And I discovered that according to their beliefs, they believe that there is God and there is devil, and they deliberately choose the devil. But the trick is, according to their beliefs, they believe that there are one of three scenarios: either that God and the devil will have huge war, and then the devil will win the war, and he and his people will win over God and his people, and then the devil and his people will win over the heaven, and they will get to heaven, and God's people will get into hell. That's the first scenario. Or that they will serve Satan, and then after they die, they will be reborn again as kings, and then after they die, they will be reborn again as kings, and they will be like immortal this way as kings, serving the devil. Or the third scenario is that they are going to hell, and they are going to be kings in hell. Okay? So, when someone believes in something so deep, and you try to like get into an argument with them, sometimes people do not get, like, what's the word? They're not convinced with what you're trying to say. If you try to convince someone that what he's saying does not make any sense, it will be difficult for him to be convinced, or he will just give excuses, and the argument will be just, like, there will be no use of the whole argument. So I was just thinking, sometimes, in the RuPaul's Drag Race and stuff like that, sometimes when someone reads, like when a queen reads someone, and she just give them shade, and they become so shady that they say something, and the other one just cannot answer after this. So sometimes when someone is just being arrogant or just fixed to his ideas, and you just give them one answer that shuts them up. So I was thinking, if there was one answer that would totally shut up this kind of thinking from the satanic Bible and stuff like that, if the Quran, I'm not religious, but I defend the truth from how I see it. And for me, I saw truth in Islam and in the Quran, okay? So I was thinking, if the Quran would answer people like this, or tell them something that would shut them up in a shady way, what would it say? So one time I was in the transportation, and the driver was playing Quran in the like the headphones and stuff. And I was listening to a verse, and I was like, damn, girl, like, it was amazing. So the verse said that the infidel people will say that they will be immortal and stuff like that. So God was telling Muhammad the Prophet to tell people, like the infidel people, if you so much believe that you're going to be immortal, and that you're going to win in heaven, and that you're going to be kings in hell, so why don't you just wish to die? I was like, oh, like, this is an amazing question. So why don't you wish to die? And they would never wish to die, and they would wish to live for thousands of years. So, exactly. If you are so true that you're going to be kings in hell, and you're going to live forever as kings, and you're going to win over God, why don't you just wish to die? So I think this is a total shut up answer for them. So, yeah, I can understand if someone has different faith than Islam. It's okay. We all see God in different ways. I can understand if someone is ignorant and is atheist because he doesn't have all the information, or he's in his way, or in his quest of finding the truth, I can understand that. I can sympathize with that. But knowing the truth and just being arrogant enough to admit stuff that is just, yani, I mean, BS. So why don't you just wish to die? Okay. So these were the three kind of people, the three kind of infidelity in Islam, from how I see it, and I just wanted to clear this up. And yeah, that was the episode of today. So have a nice day, have a nice night, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.